Hi students, good morning all of you. Today our concept is electromagnetic induction. This is quite easy as well as you can definitely attempt a question from NEET examination. What is the basic concept of electromagnetic or electromagnetic induction? This is the basic diagram for entire electromagnetic induction that represents we produce electromotive force. We produce electromotive force by varying magnetic field. That is the process of electromagnetic induction. Simply, this is also called magnetic induction. Means here we produce electromotive force by varying magnetic field inside the coil or inside any conductor. Here, if you observe this diagram, that bar magnet is moving to and fro, or there must be exist a relative motion with respect coil as well as with respect magnet. Then only we can observe deflection in this galvanometer. Whenever you observe the galvanometer deflection, that means electromotive force is produced. That is the key concept in this lesson. Before going to discuss the lesson, we have to learn some basics. What are the basics? If you want to calculate electric field, you have to calculate what is electric flux. That is, we are discussed in Gauss law. The electric flux E dot ds is electric flux. Based upon that one, we define what is Gauss law. In the same way, here also we have to learn about magnetic flux. Magnetic flux. What is magnetic flux? The magnetic flux is nothing but, if you observe this diagram, the magnetic flux is the area times the component of magnetic field perpendicular to the area. That is the basic equation for magnetic flux. The magnetic flux is represented with phi, and the change in magnetic flux is delta phi. The change in magnetic flux is delta phi. Everywhere, if you observe this one, B dot dA, B dot A. What is dot product? Here, the dot product represents flux. E dot ds, there is electric field or electric flux, means the electric field lines move one place to another place. In the same way, here also we have discussed about magnetic flux. The magnetic field passed through some area of cross section. That is magnetic flux. In equation, we written as B dot A is BA cos theta. If you remove dot product, we can add cos theta. We can add cos theta. B dot A is BA cos theta for only one loop. If it is one loop, that is BA cos theta is enough. Or if you take n loops, the coil contains n loops, then n times BA cos theta, or that is written as BAN cos theta. The same thing is expressed here. Phi is equals to BAN cos theta represent flux. This can also be written as n is the same. BA cos theta is B dot A bar. BA cos theta is B dot A bar. So if you want to measure in integration form represents the total flux. The total integration represents the summation. The integral B dot ds represents the total flux. These are the different forms of equation for magnetic flux. The next concept is here what we have to learn. That is very important. In examination point of view, in NEET point of view, there are three different concepts. You have to learn from this EMI concept. Okay, three different concepts. What are the different concepts? The first one is Faraday law and Lenz's law. That is the one concept. Write down the Faraday law and Lenz's law. These two are interlinked concepts, as well as the motional EMF. The motional EMF and Fleming's right hand rule. The motional EMF and Fleming's right hand rule. That is the one concept. And the application of that concept is eddy currents. Eddy currents. That is the application of motional EMF. Okay. And the last one is mutual induction and self-induction. That is another concept. These are the three major concepts we discussed in electromagnetic induction. The first concept here is the Faraday law. The Faraday law is already discussed in electricity or current electricity. In the same way here, the Faraday line magnetism, nothing but the change in magnetic flux. The change in magnetic flux with time produces electromotive force or induced EMF. That is, according to Faraday law, the E is proportional to d phi b by dt. This is the basic form of Faraday law. The basic form is whenever the magnetic flux changes with time, then automatically the electromotive force or induced EMF is produced. EMF is induced in the conductor. That is the basic thing what we saw in the first diagram. Whenever the magnetic flux changes, EMF or electromotive force is induced in the conductor. That is Faraday gives about equation regarding induced EMF. Induced EMF. Electromotive force, nothing but here the force required to move electrons in a conductor. That is electromotive force. Here the electromotive force is produced, in which case the magnetic flux is changing. Phi b represent magnetic flux changing with respect to the equation represented as for n turns. If it contains n turns, that is E equals to n into delta phi b by dt. Here E is induced EMF, n is number of loops, and delta phi by delta t, or you can written as d phi by dt, that represent the rate of change of flux with time. Means whenever rate of change of flux takes place, then automatically EMF is induced. That is the basic law. That is the basic Faraday law. This is very important. This is the basic thing in electromagnetic induction. Based upon this one, here we are obtaining another symbol, that is negative sign. The negative sign is very significant. That is explained by Lenz. The physicist Lenz explained why this negative sign arises in this equation. That is, if you observe this one, according to Lenz's law, this is the Lenz's law. According to Lenz's law, an induced EMF is always flow in a direction such that it opposes the change in produced rate. Means whatever source is there, that induced EMF opposes the source. Simply you can say like that. The induced EMF opposes the source. Here also the same thing happening. If you observe this diagram, this is a coil, this is a coil. If you move the north pole of a magnet towards the coil, north pole of the magnet towards the coil, then what happens? This coil try to repel this north pole. Try to repel this north pole. That is explained. The repulsion or opposing property represented by minus sign. That is what explained in Faraday law. Here, in order to repel this magnet north pole, this coil acts like a north pole. This coil acts like a north pole. If it acts like a north pole, how current flows in the coil? That is also very important. If this is acts like a north pole, suppose in most of the textbooks they represent like this. If it acts like a north pole, the current in the loop is in anti-clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction. If it acts like a north pole, the current is in the direction of counterclockwise. Here also the same thing happening. Whenever you try to move the north pole of a magnet, bar magnet, the EMF is induced in the coil. In such a case, the source is here, the bar magnet is the source. The induced EMF in the coil opposes the bar magnet. That opposing property is represented by Lenz's law. That is the basic cause for negative sign in Faraday law. Be remember. In the same way, if you move away from the magnet, this is also important. If you move a bar magnet away from this coil, then there also this coil opposing that property. Opposing that property, nothing but your north pole is moving away, nothing but it try to attract the bar magnet towards the coil. Okay, why? Because here the source is moving away from the coil. We remember the source is here bar magnet. The bar magnet creates magnetic flux or induced EMF here. That's what is the source here? Bar magnet is the source. Whenever it is moving away from the coil, EMF is induced. The EMF direction is opposite to the source. We remember that opposing the motion of source. Here, that's why the coil attracts the bar magnet in the second case. Okay, in the first case, the coil repels the bar magnet. Why? Because a north pole moving towards the coil. Okay, this is the basic structure, basic explanation of Lenge's law, and also we can explain by using south pole also. Here we explain based upon north pole. Moving towards the coil, moving away from the coil. In the same way, we can explain when south pole moving towards the coil. Okay, this is a coil. The south pole is moving towards the coil. In a such a case, the induced EMF opposes the source. That is the basic Lenge's law. The induced EMF opposes the source, nothing but in order to oppose south pole, repel each other. Okay, that's why here the coil must be acts like a south pole. The coil acts like a south pole. The south pole repel the bar magnet. And same way, we can detect the deflection in this galvanometer. That means EMF is induced in the coil. EMF induction is Faraday law, and the opposing property, or based upon that opposing property, we represent here. Here is the south pole. The south pole means if you put arrow marks here, the direction is clockwise. Based upon induced EMF or based upon that Lenge's law, we can reduce the direction of current in the coil. That is the way, very important here. Here the current is in clockwise direction. Means here the heading here is movement against the repulsion. Means south pole repulsion. Means the coil acts like a south pole and the coil repels the bar magnet. In the second case, movement against the attraction. In this case, the south pole moving away from the coil. We remember the south pole moving away from the coil. If it moving away from the coil, that property, that is that induced EMF in the coil opposes that property. That means it try to attract towards the coil. That is the basic Lenge's law. Okay, these two are very important. Based upon this one, we can explain so many physical applications. That is, suppose if you observe this diagram, in most of the situations, the problem asks like this. Here, if you observe the first diagram, the basic thing is here into nothing but the magnetic field is into the page. Here the magnetic field is decreases. If you observe this one here, 20 Tesla, here only 10 Tesla. If you observe this diagram, the magnetic field decreases, or nothing but I can write like this: flux decreases. Then what induced flux do? That is the thing here. The induced flux opposes the change. We remember. Means the induced flux, in which direction induced flux exists here? It is decreasing. That's why here into the phase. Why? Because here flux is decreasing. In order to increase the flux again, the induced flux opposes that property. That's why the induced flux acting towards the or into the page, into the board, here into the board. Okay, whenever induced flux into the board, then what is the direction of induced current? That is important. Oftenly asked in our examinations. That is induced current. The direction is, if it is into the phase, apply right hand thumb rule. The field is into the phase whenever you place. If this is a conductor, okay, the magnetic field is into the phase. The thumb represents the direction of current. Here, the direction of current is induced current is clockwise, right? This is clockwise. In most of the cases, they are asking the direction of induced current or induced flux in examinations. In the same way, you can explain the second case also. What is the second case? Here, if you observe this one, here the dot represents out of the page, here into the page. Means the flux changes initially out of the page, transform to the into the page. In such a case, the net induced flux oppose the change, That nothing but the induced flux must be in which direction? Induced flux. It is into the page. That's why induced flux out of the page. That induced current is Induced current out of the page, nothing but here. Suppose this is the out of the page. This is out of the page. If you place this fingers like this is the out of the page. Then the thumb represents the direction of current. Here, anti-clockwise. This is anti-clockwise. These type of questions are often asked in our objective question. Objective. And the same way, there is the third diagram. If you observe this one, a rectangular plate moving towards the field. Whenever is moving towards the field, the flux obviously increases, right? In which direction induced flux acting? The induced flux acting. Try to decrease the flux. Be remember. Try to decrease the flux. Means the induced flux is out of the page. Whenever it is out of the page, the induced current, right, anti-clockwise. ACW. These are the applications, key applications of Lenz law. In the same way, you can discuss based upon that one. Here is the problem based upon Faraday law as well as the Lenz law. These two are interlinked concepts. Why? Because whenever you mention Faraday law, obviously you can mention the direction, negative side. That's why both are interlinked concepts. Here also, a circular coil of radius 10 centimeters, 500 turns, and resistance is 2 ohms is placed in a perpendicular to the horizontal component of it. Then what we have to calculate here? Horizontal component of Earth magnetic field. Estimate the magnitude of EMF and current in the coil. This is the case. Okay. This is a basic NCERT problem. If you want to calculate the magnitude of EMF, what is EMF? What is EMF equation? The EMF equation is d phi by dt or delta phi by delta. This is the basic equation. If you want to write exactly, you have to add negative sign according to Lenz. If you want to calculate delta of d phi by dt, what is phi here? The phi equation is b dot a or VA. You can apply VA cos theta here. In which case, the initially we have to calculate flux in two different cases. In the first case, the plane perpendicular to the horizontal component of Earth magnetic field, and in the second case, it rotated 180 degrees. It rotated 180 degrees. Whenever it is perpendicular to Earth component, then what is the equation? What is the basic equation we have to take here? That is, phi is equals to means VA cos theta. What is the theta here? The first case, what is the theta? If you observe this one, a circular coil, if you take a coil, if you want to measure the area of the coil, area of cross section, that is acting outward the circular plane. Be remember. In the same way here also, the direction, that is the horizontal component of Earth magnetic means here theta equals to 0. Both are aligned in the same direction. 0 degrees. Whenever it is perpendicular, it is parallel to the area. Be remember here that's no cos 0. You know what is B and what is A here. You can calculate phi 2. In the same way, you can calculate phi 2. What is phi 2 here? BA cos 180. Then you can calculate cos 180 is obviously minus 1. That's why this is minus BA. Here BA, phi 1 is BA. You can calculate delta phi or d phi by delta t. The induced EMF is E is equals to d phi by dt. We remember, if it contains 500 times, the equation is n times delta phi by delta t. N times delta phi by delta. You can calculate E value. Whenever you can calculate E value, obviously you can calculate the current value. I is equals to what is the equation? V by R here, E by R. Ohm's law, just Ohm's law. You can calculate E value and you can calculate what is R value given. The R value is 2 ohms. Then obviously you can calculate I value. Okay, this is a basic approach to calculate this problem. Okay, have any doubts? The first you have to calculate, just identify what are the angles there. That is important. Basically, the coils are rotated from theta 1 to theta 2, theta 1 to theta 2. In such a case, we have to calculate phi at theta 1. In such a case, B into A. What is B here? B is coefficient here. B is 3.0 into 10 power minus 5 Tesla. Okay, what is the area here? B, remember that must be in meters. 10 centimeters, nothing but 10 into 10 power minus 2 meters. As it is a circular coil, the area is pi r square. This is the area of circle. You know B value, know A value. In the same way, B value, A value, look here. Whenever you take delta phi, this is 2 times BA minus of minus BA. The total is 2BA. 2BA by dt, and is here 500. Okay. I think they gave T value also. T is given as 0.24 seconds. Okay. This is a basic approach to simplify this problem. And the next concept is, yes, this is the problem. The solution is also attached here. Just look, what the thing is the initial phi value, the final phi value, final flux value, and n d phi by dt, delta phi by delta t. The I equals to E by R. The I is equals to E by R. This is the basic approach of that. Okay. Is it clear? Chandrasekhar. Yes, most of the problems they are directly asking from NCERT textbooks. That's why I explained that concept. Okay. The second one is, this is also application of Lenger's law as well as Faraday's law. A plane coil is kept perpendicular into the inward field. We remember the field is inward here. The field is inward here. A coil is placed like this. A coil is placed. If coil is flipped by 180 degrees in dt, find the induced EMF. If you want to calculate induced EMF, first calculate phi 1. Phi 1 is what is phi equation? PA cos theta. Initially it is at 0 degrees. After that it is rotated 180 degrees. That is, if coil contains n turns, we can take BA cos theta, or otherwise BA cos theta. Cos 0 is 1, that's why BA is the result phi 1. If you rotate it 180 degrees, then phi 2 is equals to here also BA cos 180. Cos 180 is minus 1, that is minus BA. What we have to calculate here? Induced EMF. The induced EMF is equals to E is equals to N d phi by dt or N delta phi by delta t. This is the induced EMF condition. Or if it contains n turns, we take n. Otherwise, if it is only one term, that is n equals to 1. N times delta phi by delta t. Delta phi, what is the value? BA minus of minus BA by dt. Then it is 2BAN by dt. This is the induced EMF in this case. Yes. If mostly they are asking about the magnitudes only. This way I didn't mention that one. If you want to mention, then the total entire equation cuts some magnitude. Okay. Basically, the magnitude of EMF. They are often asking the magnitude of EMF. P is equals to N d phi by dt. This is the basic explanation for this problem. And also there is some extension to this problem also. That is, find the current and charge flow due to the flux, the change in coil. How can we calculate current? The current I is equals to, what is the equation? E by R. You know, E equals to minus d phi by dt. R is there, that's why R is same left here. If you, this is the I equation or current equation. If you want to calculate charge in the coil, you can write I is equals to dq by dt. I equals to the rate of change of charge. Thus way dq by dt you can write instead of I minus d phi by rt. We can cancel dt on both sides. Then what is the equation for charge? dq is equals to minus d phi by r. This is the basic equation for. Means here, if you remember this one, the charge q is independent of time. That is a very important thing. The q is independent of time. There is another problem based upon the same concept. The plane of the coil is perpendicular to the field, just like this. Okay, this is a plane perpendicular to the field is towards right. The plane is perpendicular to the field. Coil is rotating with angular speed omega. Find the induced EMF. We have to calculate our target is EMF calculation. When rotate parallel to the plane, means here we are rotating parallel to the field. Right? It is parallel to the field. Coil is parallel to the field. In such a case, what is the induced EMF? E is equals to what is the equation? d phi by dt. Basically the flux. If you calculate flux, the flux is equals to VA cos 90. Flux is 0. VA cos 90 is 0. That's why flux is 0. Whenever flux is 0, obviously the E value is also 0. Means wherever we rotate parallel to the field, the induced EMF is 0. There is no electromotive force induced in the coil. In the other case means when it is rotated perpendicular to the field, that is the case of AC generator. Okay, this is the basic application. That is, whenever you rotate the coil perpendicular to the plane, the most of electric field line, magnetic field lines pass through the rectangular coil from north to south. Most of the coils are passed through the coil. That's why in such a case, EMF is maximum. Electromotive force is maximum. If you observe this one, this is the basic structure of AC generator. How we can reduce equation for AC generator based upon the Faraday law and Lenz's. Let us see. Yes, the flux is generally what is the flux equation? VAN cos theta. If you differentiate both sides, with respect time, phi equals to d phi by dt. With respect time, in the same way here, for the VAN is constant. For cos theta minus sin theta, the differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. For theta, d theta by dt. Why? Because theta is also changing here. We should consider d theta by dt here. In this equation, left hand side, d phi by dt represent electromotive force E according to Faraday law, and d theta by dt represent angular speed of the coil. That's why this equation can be written as E equals to BAN sin theta. Okay, BAN sin theta. Instead of d theta by dt, we write here omega. Suppose in this case we rotate perpendicular to the field. Whenever perpendicular to the field, theta is 90 degrees. Obviously, then such a case, maximum lines, magnetic lines of forces pass through the coil. That's why E is maximum. Maximum EMF is induced in the coil. That is also represented with E0. Here E0 is equals to, what is the value? If you write theta equals to 90, sin 90 is 1. That's why VAN omega. That is the E0 value. This is E0 value in AC generator. The maximum induced EMF in AC generator is VAN omega. In the same way, you can write equation for EMF. EMF of AC generator is equal to, we can represent as it is produced AC current, we represent EMF is E0 sin omega t like that, and E0 sin theta. Theta is omega t here. This is the format of EMF induced in the AC generator. In the same way, if you write equation for current, I is equals to E by R. E, instead of E, you can write E naught sin omega t. E naught sin omega t by r. Again, if you write E naught by r, here E naught by r is, here E naught by r is I naught sin omega. That nothing but I is also in sin format. That is AC current. Here I naught sin omega. This is the basic equations in AC generator. Means AC generator is also application of Faraday law as well as Lenz law. In that one, whenever flux is passing through the coil, whenever flux is passing through the coil, EMF is generated in this coil. By using that EMF, here the lamp or any AC source glows up. The lamp glows up by using of this alternating current. Okay, this is the basic structure of AC current, AC generator. These are the equations. And the next one, this is also problem based upon AC generator. AC generator. How AC generator? Induced in that rectangular coil. Here, if you observe this one, some Kamla pedals is stationary bicycle. The pedals of bicycle are attached to 100 turns coil of area 0.1 meters square. The coil rotates half a revolution per second, and placed in a magnetic field. What is the magnetic field here? 0.01 Tesla perpendicular to axis of rotation of the coil. What is the maximum voltage? Whenever it is perpendicular, the flux is maximum. That's why we have to calculate here maximum voltage generator. Just we discuss what is the maximum value? E naught. E naught is equals to BAN omega. That is the basic equation. We know everything in this equation. What is B here? 0.01 Tesla. What is A here? Directly they give area. That's why 0.1 meter square. How many tons are there? 100 tons. What is omega? Generally, the omega equation is omega equals 2 pi f. That's why 2 pi. What is F here? Half a revolution per second. That is frequency. Revolution per second. That is represent frequency. What is frequency here? 1 by 2 or 0. You have to write here. By using this one, we can calculate what is inner. Just calculate here the approximate value is 0.314 volts in volts. This is also direct NCERT question. Okay, they are directly asking NCERT without changing numericals also. That's why you should keep in mind how we are going to calculate problem and what is the final result. Okay. Yes, there is a question. Just listen carefully. Lenz's law is consequence of law of conservation of energy. Why it is energy? Why it is energy? Why? Because whenever the force is there, the force is applied on the conductor, EMF is induced, then it is opposite that by induced EMF. That's why here, if this is a conductor, if you pull this in this direction, some amount of force, then the induced force acting in opposite direction. This is the forces are conserved, or nothing but here the energy is conserved. The energy conservation takes place in Lenz's law. The next one, just here they are asking about what is charge. We derive the equation for the charge. Which one is correct here? The fourth option, Q is equals to delta phi by R. Delta phi by R. This is the correct option. The next one is, in a circuit with a coil of resistance 2 ohms, the magnetic flux changes from 2 Weber to 10 Weber in 0.2 seconds. What is the charge flow? We have to calculate charge. Just I am explained that what is the equation for charge? d phi by r is the charge dq. What is d phi here? You have to calculate change. What is d phi here? 10 minus 2 is 8. By what is the resistance? 2. What is the value? Here the access parameter given is time. That's not required here. Okay. Whenever you use the formula for charge, you can apply directly. The next one is, this is also application of Lenz's law. What is that one? A metallic ring is attached to the wall of room. When the north pole of magnet is brought nearer to it, the induced current in the ring is the direction of induced current. Whenever you move north pole, the ring acts like a north pole. That is the basic. If it acts like a north pole, just imagine this time. The direction of induced current is anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. According to Lenz's law, this acts like a north pole in order to oppose the source. Okay, this is where the correct option here is anti-clockwise direction is correct. Okay. The next one here is also the simple problem. Here the flux changes B0 to 4B0. What is the induced EMF? E is equals to d phi by dt. D phi by dt. What is d phi here? 4B0 minus B0 is 3B0 by dt is time is here t. Here what we have to calculate? E0. Induced EMF in the coil. Induced. Phi is equals to B dot A. Phi is equals to B dot A. The correct option is also simple. The next one is, this is also an NCERT question, direct NCERT. As shown in the figure, the magnet is moved with a fast speed towards the coil at rest. Due to this, induced EMF inducing the current. Here, what they are asked, E, I, and Q respectively. If speed of the magnet is double, the speed of the magnet is double. The incorrect statement is, whenever the speed increases, obviously the flux increases. Whenever speed increases, the rate of change of flux increases. The rate of change of flux represents EMF. That's why EMF increases. Whenever EMF increases, automatically current increases. But the total amount in the coil, whatever the flow of charges from one end to another end, that is constant. Okay. That's why Q is remains same. The Q is remains same. Q does not increase. The incorrect statement here is option 4 or 4th option. Yes. If you observe this one, this is also application. This is also very important. A rod of length L is rotating a plane perpendicular to the field. The axis of rotation is at one end of the rod. Find the induced EMF between two ends of the rod. Okay. Means the direction. The answer is this one they gave, half B L square omega. You must keep in mind half B L square omega. Here, how can we derive this equation? It is moving in a perpendicular to the field. Rod is like this. This is the rod. Assume this is a rod. It is moving with the angle theta. The rod length is L. Okay. The rod length is L. If you want to calculate induced EMF, first we have to calculate flux. The change in flux is EMF induced. That's why we have to calculate flux. If you want to calculate flux, phi is equals to VA. Here, if you must measure theta also, we remember. Here, theta perpendicular to the field. We remember the coil plane is perpendicular to the field. Means here, the magnetic field is suppose into the place. Then the area of the loop is, how can you draw a vector to area of the loop? Out of the two. That angle between B and A is 180 degrees. The B and A angle is 180 degrees. Why? Because B is into the face. The area vector is out of the face. The theta here is 180 degrees. That's why here cos theta is 180. That's why minus B. Cos 180 is minus 1. Right, theta is 180. Cos 180 is minus 1. What is area here? Area covered by the rod in time. Area covered is A is equals to half base into height, the basic formula. That is half. What is base here? Ln. What is height here? This is approximately the height of the the length of the earth. The length of the earth. What is the formula for length of the earth? R equals to L theta. R equals to L. If you observe this one, what is the area of L square theta? If you write in this equation for B, induced EMF, E is equals to, yes, directly you can write B A minus B A. What is B here? What is B here? B is A. What is A? Half L square theta. This is generally flux. This is flux. If you want to calculate E value, go for differentiation. If you differentiation this equation, d phi by dt is equals to B times half L square. What is theta? Differentiation. D theta by dt. D theta by dt is obviously omega. Omega. That's why the equation is half B L square. D theta by theta is omega. This equation is important. Should keep in mind this equation is important. Not about the derivation. The equation B L square omega is the rod rotating in a magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. Then such a case EMF induced is of B L square omega. Based upon this equation, there is an NCERT problem. They're directly asking about a wheel with the 10 metal spokes, each 0.5 meters long, is rotating with speed of 120 revolution per minute. Normal to the horizontal component of Earth magnetic field H. The horizontal magnetic field is also given in terms of Gauss at the place. What is the induced EMF between the axle and rim of the wheel? They are asking about the induced EMF. This is also an example, in the same example as a rod rotating in a particular circular path. They are in a magnetic field. Such a case, you can use directly the formula of BL square omega. Here BL square nothing but L is nothing but here the length of the spoke, the radius of the spoke. That is R. Directly you substitute that half is same. What is omega here? 120 revolution per minute. We remember if they gave 120 revolution per minute. If you want to convert in SI units, radian per second. If you want to convert in radians per second, how can you convert this one? Two pi by 60. One revolution per minute equals to 2 pi by 60 radian per second. If you cancel this one, 2 times 2 to the 4 pi. That's why instead of omega they write 4 pi. The B value is 0.5 Gauss. 1 Gauss equals to 10 power minus 4 Tesla. That's why 0.4 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. The R value is given as 0.5. 0.5 meters. Now obviously the calculation is 6.28 into something 10 power minus 5 volts. That is means here the main thing, the focus is now total focus is how they are asking questions in NCERT questions. Okay, the first grade is NCERT. That's why I am explaining every NCERT problem based upon particular concept. Here, this is also some of additional topic to that particular Lenz law and as well as Faraday. The concept here is eddy currents. Eddy currents. Okay. What are the eddy currents? What are the eddy? The eddy currents are nothing but the eddy currents are produced inside the conductor. The eddies is nothing but a whirlpool. Whirlpool nothing but a circular rings. A circular ring pattern. The currents are produced inside the conducting material. inside the conducting material due to the flux linked with this coil. The flux, whenever the EMF is induced due to the flux causes eddy currents inside the conducting material. That's why I'm explaining eddy currents as eddy currents are loops of electrical current. Loops of electrical current that is produced inside the conducting plate. Inside the conducting plate. I'm speaking about inside the conducting plate. I'm not speaking about coil. Do you remember? Inside the conducting plate. By virtue of changing magnetic, whenever the field is changing inside the coil, then obviously eddy currents are produced in the conducting plate. How the questions are often asked from this topic? That is very important. Let us see a few examples. That is, what is basic applications of eddy currents? There are 4 important applications. The first one is electromagnetic braking. Electromagnetic braking, nothing but in electromagnetic trains or in fast moving bullet trains, the brakes are applied by magnetic induction. Magnetic induction. Basically, here to control the speed of fast moving electrical trains, the wheels are prepared with some conducting material like copper. Okay. Whenever the field is applied to that one, the eddy currents are formed on the copper material. That opposes the cause. Opposes the cause, nothing but opposes the source or electricity to move that way. The eddy currents oppose the source. Here also, whenever they oppose the source, the current is reduced. The current which is useful to run the train, that is reduced. This way, obviously the train slows down. That is the basic thing. The electromagnetic braking, okay, and also in electromagnetic damping. Electromagnetic damping galvanometers. Generally, the galvanometers are prepared with some coils or some conducting material. The conducting material is placed like a platform to the galvanometer. If that the galvanometer shows small deflections to left or right. Whenever there is no deflection, that means nothing but there is no current flow through that particular circuit. But generally, if there is any disturbance takes place, the deflection is towards left or right. We cannot, if it is moving towards left, the current moving towards left direction. Or if it is the needle moves towards right, nothing but the current travel towards right direction. But in some conditions, the deflects to and fro. In order to reduce that deflections, that is called damping, slowly comes to rest. The needle slowly comes to rest. That is damping. In order to reduce that one, we are using eddy current concept. The eddy current formed on the metallic plate of the needles. That eddy currents oppose the motion of the needles. The eddy currents opposes the motion of the needles. This is electromagnetic damping. And induction furnace. Furnace nothing but in order to melt metals. High temperature needed. To produce high temperature, eddy currents are useful to produce high current. That's why inductance furnace is one of the application to eddy currents, as well as electric power meters, just like speedometers. The speedometers are also one example of electric power meters. These are 4 important applications of eddy currents. Based upon this one only, they are asked questions. Based upon these 4 applications. That is how they are asked questions in NCERT textbooks. In which of the following devices the eddy currents are not used? We remember, we already discussed that induction furnace is one of the application. Magnetic braking is one of the application. Electromagnets oftenly eddy currents are formed. The outer thing here is electric heater. Just electric heater, nothing but whenever you supply current, the metal plate gets heated. The heat flow through some copper coils. There is no eddy current formation in that such a case. That's why here the correct option is eddy current effect is not used. Here eddy currents is, we not discussed eddy currents in electrical heaters. Okay, in bucket heaters, whatever you are using in the rooms. That's why the correct option is electric heaters. The eddy currents are used Eddy currents are using. Here, speedometers is electric meters. Electric meters, speedometers are acting. Speedometers are also eddy currents application. That's why the correct option is the next concept is Fleming right hand. Fleming right hand rule. There is a Fleming left hand rule and a right hand rule. Left hand rule already, I think already discussed in our class. Based upon the left hand rule, we are using the direction of current in electrical motors. Electrical motors. But whereas in generators, the Fleming right hand rule is used. In order to deduce the direction of induced current. Induced current. The basic concept, the whole concept is about induced current, right? Induced EMF, induced current, electromagnetic induction. The total concept is moving around these two things only: induced flux, induced EMF, induced current. These three things are discussed only here. Here, in order to represent the direction of induced current, we are using right hand. Okay. What is right hand? If you observe this diagram, if you place three fingers, what are the three fingers? The forefinger, thumb, and the middle finger perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular to each other. If the middle finger represents the direction of induced current, thumb represents the direction of force, then the forefinger represents the direction of field. The direction of field. That is the basic diagram for this one. That's why here also, if you observe this diagram, there is a conductor between two poles, like this. If you observe, the current is moving like this in this direction, means you need to place your middle finger in the direction of current, the induced current in this conductor. Then what is the direction of field? If like this, what is the direction? The forefinger represents the field. The field is north to south. North to south. The magnetic. And the thumb represents the force. The force is upward. The force is upward for this leg. For this leg. This is the right hand rule. And Fleming right hand rule as well as motional EMF both are interlinked concepts. What is motional EMF? Motional EMF nothing but whenever a conductor moving in a magnetic field, then induce electric charges inside the conductor. That is the basic thing. Here, the charges are induced up to or until the forces are balanced. Which forces are acting here? Electric force as well as magnetic force. Whenever those two are balanced, what is the equation for electric force? Q into F is equals to QE is the basic equation for electric force. And what is the equation for FB? QEB. We are discussing moving charges and magnetism. In that concept, the FB is equals to Q into V cross B, obvious generally, or QB sin theta. For maximum, it is QBB. Whenever these two are equal, we can write equation for E. Why? Because both sides Q are cancelled. E is equals to V into B. Here V is the velocity. B, remember, V is the velocity. V is the magnetic field. If you want to calculate potential difference E is equals to R, delta V is equals to E into dr or E into R. Here E into R nothing but here represented with L. That's why instead of V you can write V into B. That's why BLV is the basic equation. Okay, BLV is the basic equation for potential difference. This is the concept of motional EMF inside the conductor. And also you have to remember one thing: the charges are flow, and the directional field is here. If it is the positive charge accumulate in this diagram, the positive charge accumulate top side of the conductor, the negative charges accumulate in this direction. Means here the direction of electric field FE, the direction of electric field means the electrons are moving. The electrons are moving. What is the direction of electric field? What is the direction of electric field? The motion of positive charge. The motion of positive charge is electric field. Means electric positive charges are accumulated top side of the plate, negative charges are accumulated bottom of the plate. And if they are asking about the direction of positive charge from bottom to top, remember a positive charge can move bottom to top, or negative charge here moving from top to bottom, top to bottom. These things are important in motional EMF. And also the motional EMF, there is an extension concept that is. So this is also concept of motional EMF. You simply can represent this one. This is a rail. A rod is moving. What is the meaning of motional EMF here? What is the basic definition of motional EMF? That is important. The EMF generated in the loop. This is the loop. The EMF is generated by virtue of changing its area by moving this rod of length L. Whenever you move rod, the area covered inside the loop changes. Area changes, remember. Whenever area changes, the flux linked with that area is changes. Okay? Whenever flux changes, EMF is generated. That is motional EMF. EMF is generated by the motion of rod length L, and here the varying quantity is area of the loop. By varying area of the loop, EMF is generated inside the loop. Whenever EMF generated, the current is flowing inside through the loop. Okay, that is the key concept here. If you want to calculate flux, what is the flux? Flux is equals to phi B, that is represent flux B into A. Here we are taken as maximum flux BA. What is area here? As this is a rectangular in shape, the displacement is x, the length is m. The length is m. Length into breadth is area, obviously for a rectangular tube. That's why length into breadth. VLX is the flux. If you want to calculate induced EMF, induced EMF is equals to d phi by dt. If you differentiate this one, the varying quantity is only x. The x changes. Whenever it is close to this line, the initial line, the displacement is small. Whenever it is moving towards right, the displacement increases. Obviously, the area of the loop increases. Here also, the differentiation of dx by dt. Here V and L are constants. V is the magnetic field. L is the length of the bar which moving on the rails. Dx by dt. The dx by dt is nothing but velocity. The dx by dt is nothing but velocity. VLV. That is equation for induced EMF. Okay, induced EMF VLV. By using this one, obviously you can calculate what is current. The current is I equals to E by R. What is E? VLV by R. If they are asked about current, VLV by R is the equation. And as well as what is the power? P is equals to F into V. The basic equation is force into velocity. The force here is the force acting on the conductor. We studied in Fleming's law. BIL. BIL is the force acting on the conductor. BIL. Here BIL are in form of ILB. What are the pattern here? If you write instead of Y, you can write BLV by R. Instead of Y, you can write BLV by R. Obviously, the equation is V square L square V square by R. This is the equation for power. Or this is the power is also written as V E square by R or V square by R. VLV is induced EMF V. That's why E square by R. This is the motional EMF concept. Okay, this is what are the important quantities you should keep in mind. That is very important. First one, in first case, when bar moving, the EMF induced is VLV. We remember VLV. As well as a rod is moving on a rails in a uniform magnetic field, then such a case, the EMF equation, E induced EMF equation is BLV or minus BLV. Obviously, consider magnitude. That's why here you can calculate I value, you can calculate power value, power generated in this motional EMF. These are the important equations you should keep in mind. Based upon this one, you can discuss few concepts. A conducting wire move towards right. The wire is moving towards right. In magnetic field B, from given figure, the direction of induced current. What is the direction of magnetic? This is the direction of induced current. They gave the direction of induced current. We have to calculate the direction of magnetic field. What is the direction of magnetic field? Just to apply. And also the question is on the paper. On the paper. If you observe this one, the field is in the direction. Apply right hand rule. This is the direction. Okay. This is the direction of induced current. Middle finger represent induced current. Okay. We have to represent B value. Okay. This is moving towards right. If you observe this as in paper, this is like this, right? This is like this. If you move the force is acting towards it, there is moving like this. Okay. The thumb represents the force as well as this is moving towards right. The thumb. The direction of field is into the paper. Okay. Into the paper, right? Or perpendicular to the paper. This is the direction of field. The forefinger represents the direction of field into the paper. For the given case, if you rotate this one like this, rotate like on the paper, the direction of thumb is downward, perpendicular downwards in the paper. Assume the same condition on the paper. Okay. Yes. Downward. That's why the correct option is option 3. So the right hand application is very important. Need boundary. And the next one is, yes, this is also one conducting tubes. Here the two tubes are moving opposite to each other. What is the induced EMF? Whenever these two are moving, just we have to specify the direction of current. If it is same direction, they are added. If it is in opposite direction, we subtract from 1 to n. Here the direction is like this. Means if you apply, the field is into the face. Your into marks are there into the face. Okay, and the thumb represents the force. Nothing but the direction of V. Then what is the current direction here? Downward. Okay, downward. Like just simple like this. Here, if you observe this one, for this one is moving towards right. Okay, is moving towards right. And what is the direction of this one? This we have to represent the force direction. Right side. Towards right into the base. The current direction is. And in this case, whenever they are moving each other, we have to calculate relative velocity. Remember, relative velocity. What is the relative velocity here? Opposite each other, nothing but. Generally, VLV is the equation. V is V effective here. VL into what is V effective here? 2V. That's why 2VLV is also. The correct option is 4. The correct option is just take relative velocity constant. Okay. There is another problem. There are another problems based upon the same concept. I will discuss. Based upon the same concept, there is a field into the base here. This is also concept of motional element. There is a conductor moving towards right with velocity. This is the point here. This is point B. Length is L. Here length is L. The bisection here is θ1. Here is θ2. Then what is the direction of current? They are often asked about what is the direction of current, as well as what is the induced field. The induced field here is E is equals to B and V. If it is B is constant here, moving velocity. In this case, we have to calculate B L effective into B into L effective into V. What is B here? B is constant. L effective is the effective length. This is the effective length of the conductor. If it is L, this is theta 1. The opposite side is L sin theta 1. Here is also L sin theta 2. What is the total length here? L sin theta 1 plus L sin theta 2 into, or if you take common B L V, the remaining equation is sin theta 1 plus. But here we have to represent the direction of current. That is important. What is the direction of current in this case? What is the direction of current? This one into the base, right? Take your forefinger into the page, moving towards right. The base, the current direction is upward. The current direction is B to A. You can simply say B to A. Okay, just like this, B to A. And the next one is there is a conductor. The radius is R. Moving in a magnetic field. Moving in a downward with velocity. Here is a point here, here is a point. What is induced EMF E? And as well as we have to measure the direction of current. The two things are very important. What is E value? B L B. Here V is constant. The magnetic field is constant. That means can't change B and V. What is L? Effective length. Effective length is A to B is R plus R. 2R. B into 2R into B. The answer is 2BRB. This is induced EMF. Okay. What is the direction of current? What is the direction of current? Is moving down.
Rightward.
Is moving down, right? Means thumb downwards. The field inward is downwards. Then the direction of thumb is, the direction of middle finger is A2. Like this. Okay. That nothing but A2. The current direction is, induced current direction is A2. This is also previous question in mains. I often ask question based upon the concepts rather than the equations and numbers. And so this is the basic concept, the first part of the electromagnetic induction. In the next concept, we discuss about what is the mutual induction, what is self-induction, and the problems relevant to those concepts. Okay. Meet again on next class. Thank you.